What's going on YouTube? My name is Matt. I'm a medical device sales manager. And I wanted to give you 4 tips here today that everybody needs to know if they're going to be in medical device sales. If you're new to the channel, please go ahead and give this a thumbs up, a like, a comment, a subscribe. I hate to ask, but it is the only way that the channel grows. So if you could do so, please do that now. And without further ado, let's get right into it. First, I wanted to say the number one thing that people realize once they actually get into medical device sales is the time commitment that it takes and the time constraints. Every time when they're going through interviews, they obviously have to say to the hiring manager that they are okay with this. However, I've seen so many people once they actually get in and realize that they're getting called in on weekends all the time and it's taken away from family and they're out on the road until 6 p.m. and, a case pops up and they have to go get that ready for the surgeon, sometimes like the bark is a little bit worse than like the initial bite that they give to you. So the time constraints, you definitely won't see your family as much. You are going to pretty much be glued to this job depending on territory and division. If you're an operating room rep with, a busy surgeon and a trauma one, like a level 1 trauma hospital, you're going to be utilized quite a bit. So this is something you absolutely need to know going in that, whatever job you had previously, if it was like a 9 to 5, this is not going to be that. So the next one that I wanted to talk about is going to be hitting numbers. So if you've never been in a sales role before, you're going to have a quota, which is essentially a number that you have to hit generally every month or every quarter in order to stay in good graces with your company, so to speak. Some companies are different than others. Certain companies, if you don't hit your quota after a certain number of months, you're gone. Some companies will, put you on a 1099, which essentially means they're not paying like taxes and benefits anymore. It's essentially your strict commission. So eventually, depending on the company, all of them will do some kind of performance review for you if you are not hitting a certain number by a certain time. Now, I can't emphasize this enough that some companies are different than others. It's great to find a company that wants to invest with you and is willing to work with you throughout the whole entire process, but some companies are different than others. So if you're just getting into this for the first time, I would 100% ask them that up front, what training is like, what happens, when do you expect me to hit this number, just so you have like a general idea of what their expectations are for you. Now, the third thing is going to be, you got to be likable. I've hit on this in a couple videos before, but you have to be a likable human being because those are the people that typically do well in these jobs, because a general rule of thumb is people always do business with the people that they like. So you have to be likable, right? So you have to just be an outgoing personality. People tend to like that. You have to be very respectful, very, very, very respectful of the physician and his staff's time. And just anything that you can do for them, you have to make a positive experience for them. So being likable is, probably one of the biggest traits that you have to have as a medical sales professional. And last but not least, I wanted to say your network is everything. Upon entering a medical sales job, the network that you are in is everything, because, if you either get let go from this job or you want a promotionary role or there's a better role that comes along that's for you from another company, your web of people are the people that you're going to have to pull from to gain knowledge, and also like potential other job opportunities that may come up in the future. So you want to be in good withstanding with many people, know a lot of people around the industry. Don't burn any bridges at all, because I've seen numerous times where people have had to come back to certain bridges that they burned and it just was not there for them. That bridge had been completely disintegrated and irreparable. So if you have to leave a job, you have to do anything like that, make sure you leave on good terms. Make sure you thank them for everything that they have ever done for you and go to the next job with your head held high. Thanks, guys. That's all for this video.